This is the moment we've been waiting for. We are going to now decide on our People's Declaration. I'm going to invite Jenny Pito from the Stop the Cuts Network to come on up here. She is going to read to you the results of the work of the delegates, and then we are going to, as a mass, as a group of residents of Toronto, we are going to vote on this declaration. So welcome, Jenny.
All right, honestly, I heard some media talking before, and one of the things they said was, how many people do you think are here? Like 150, 200, when 1,000 people were in the park. So in your welcome packages is something that we called the preamble to the Toronto Declaration. It's what sets up the demands, and I'm going to read it now, and then I'm going to go into those demands. Feel free to clap and boo as necessary, depending on what I'm talking about. This is your declaration. I want you to get into it. So knowing that the $774 million budget deficit is an exaggeration and a manufactured crisis that is being used as an excuse to cut services, hike user fees, privatize public services, and lay off workers. Knowing that city services are already insufficient, already inaccessible, especially for undocumented people, Indigenous people, poor and racialized people, people with disabilities, parents, queer and trans people. And knowing that the city is planning to cut services and lay off workers during an economic crisis. They're making these cuts at a time when we desperately need more, better services, and good jobs. So knowing all that, the Toronto Stop the Cuts Network and our allies, we conducted our own street polling in the poorest neighborhoods in Toronto, and we surveyed over 700 people this summer. We organized meetings in Riverdale, the Downtown East, Parkdale, Davenport Perth, Rexdale, Jane Finch, Teesdale, and Crescenttown. And today, on September 10th, 2011, we called a historic mass meeting, and we brought together people from across the city, such an amazing diversity of people, to lay out our demands for City Council. And so here it is. We, the people of Toronto, demand. All public services are vital to communities. We reject any attempts to divide and conquer by pitting community groups against each other in a battle for funding. We demand access to services to all people. We reject all hikes to user fees and all cuts, including, but not limited to, transit, daycare, elder care, public health, arts grants, housing, libraries, parks, recreation, shelters for survivors of violence, community centers, immigrant and language services, food programs, environmental programs, farmers markets, and cycling infrastructure. What an amazing list of things that we have and need to keep. Our city is growing, and service levels are already insufficient. We demand that City Council do their job and lobby higher levels of government to ensure sustainable funding to expand services in this city. Good public services are what ensure safe communities. We demand that the city police budget, which just, by the way, increased by 12% this year, should be cut. Those funds should shift to programs that counteract systemic oppression faced by vulnerable groups. Safe communities need women's services. They need senior services, LGBTQ services, housing, and youth programming. And most of all, police should be accountable to communities and not the other way around. Labor unions are representatives of working people and should not be targeted as a special interest group. We recognize and appreciate the important history of workers' struggles in this city. We reject the privatization of our public city services. And again, we refuse to be divided. As communities, we will defend good jobs, decent wages, collective bargaining rights, worker safety, and equity. A living wage is not a privilege, it is a human right. So being democratic, unlike our counterparts in City Council, we've read to you your declaration that is sort of an amalgamation of all the different ideas that you've come up with. So if everyone can now vote collectively, who is in favor of us taking this People's Declaration to the deputations at the 19th to City Hall on the 26th, 27th, and using this as a mandate in our fight against Ford's cuts. Hands up! So on behalf of this mass meeting and Toronto Stop the Cuts, we'll put out this declaration. It'll be up on all the Twitters, Facebooks, blogs, social media, but we will be bringing this to City Council, and you, the people of this city, have given us a people's mandate, a strong declaration of why we need to fight, and this will carry us through to the fight at City Council now and beyond as they come after our services. Thank you guys so much for all your work today.
Stop Ford's cuts! 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 Folks, make sure we take these chants right across the city. Out of Dufferin Grove, we're going west, we're going east, we're going north. We'll even go south to the lake, and we'll go beyond. Let's make sure to stop Ford's cuts. You have done amazing work today. Round of applause for everybody. Woo! Round of applause for the amazing organizers from the Stop the Cuts Network. All their work, all summer. All summer they've been getting ready for this. Go ahead, Alan.
Remember to sign up. Leave your email. There were sign-up sheets in the groups. If you didn't get one, please let us know so we can keep you in touch. Remember the website, www.torontostopthecuts.com, to keep in touch with these with the events that we talked about. We are all going to be seeing a lot of each other over the next few weeks. It's a good thing. We're going to be busy and use the network and the website to keep in touch.
And stop driving cars, just a reminder. Always say, please clean up after yourself, take your garbage with you, take your recycling with you, and thank you. We're going to see you on the 19th, the 18th, the 22nd, the 21st, the 23rd, the 26th, the 27th, and beyond. See you soon. Power to the people.